Hey, so I wanted to make a video today about getting stuck in negative states and what that can tell us, what it might want to tell us. So I was thinking about this because I'm someone who, I do get stuck in negative loops a lot, negative states, negative emotions, negative thoughts. And I was thinking about someone in my life who also is having issues with that, and so I was trying to sort of think about what I would say today to him if we were talking about this. So and I might bring it up with him whenever I meet him next or whenever. So I just wanted to kind of get some of these thoughts out and see if it can help. Maybe it can help somebody else, because I think sometimes when I have a lot of thoughts about something, it's better to get it out sometimes if I feel that it's formed in a good enough way that I can talk about it. So I think when we get stuck in negative states or loops or negative thoughts, emotions, sometimes it's beneficial to really ask yourself, like, do I actually want to feel better? And why am I not trying to feel better? Why am I allowing myself to indulge, for lack of a better phrase, to indulge in these states? And maybe these states keep coming up because they're trying to tell me that something needs to change. And so what are they trying to tell me? So I think asking yourself, well, do I actually want to feel better? Or is the way that I'm feeling, if it's a negative sort of state, maybe the way that I'm feeling is actually trying to show me something. So maybe there's a positive reason why I'm feeling this way, and maybe on some level I don't want to feel better right now because I want to work out what needs to be worked out first through being in a negative state, if that makes sense. So when you're in a negative state, it might be showing you that something in your physical life needs to change. Maybe it's a crisis point for you. Something really needs to change because you keep having the same thoughts about the same things. And so maybe on some level you want to feel better, but you also want to work out this thing that it's trying to tell you. Like, maybe it's time to really look at why you're feeling this way, instead of trying to just use methods to sort of essentially chase it away or try to run away from it, and really like try to see, well, what is it trying to tell me? I would ask my friend, like, is there a part of you that likes feeling this way? Is there a part of you that feels that there's a reason, a positive reason for you to feel this way? Or why are you not looking at, or are you looking at why you're feeling this way? And I'm not saying that he doesn't and that I don't, because I go through similar things. So I'm not saying that we don't ever take steps to feel better. But there's a part of us that is always indulging or just ruminating about the same things, or indulging in the same sort of negative cycles. And so maybe on some level it sounds terrible, but maybe on some level there is a part of us that wants to feel negative, because we think that there's something that's going to come up from that is going to allow us to make a change. And so until we have found that, what it is, we're trying to like stir in the waters, and we're trying to see like what is it trying to tell us. And so it's like we're kind of refusing to get out of it because we think that it's going to show us something in the end, and we can't stop until we find what that is. And another reason why we sometimes stay in the same states and ruminate about the same things, and we kind of go through the same cycles, is that it's hard to get out of our comfort zone. There's a part of us that is trying to stay in our comfort zone. There's like I'm forgetting what the word is, what the phrase is, but there is a phrase for sort of staying stagnant and staying in your comfort zone that I'm trying to think of. I can't think of what it is, but it's like there's a part of us that finds it difficult to change because it's like it's just easier to stay stuck where we are, because whenever we want to make a change, it can take a lot of effort, and it can take, there's like a pain process involved with change sometimes, a lot of the time. So we don't want to go through that pain, so we try to just stay in our comfort zone where it's safe. At least we're familiar with it, we're familiar with how we feel about these things that we're thinking about. And so trying to make a change would almost, it would cause a sense of tension, or like there's a pain involved with trying to make a change. So there's like growth pains, so sometimes it's hard to take that step and that leap to whatever might make us get into a better state, because we're aware that there's a pain involved. It's hard to go through that pain first before you get to the end result, right? So it's like it's easier to stay in our comfort zone. So I think a really honest question to ask yourself really is that, do I want to feel better? Do I fully want to feel better? Or is there a part of me that is more inclined to just want to stay stuck in the comfort zone? Or maybe a part of me is also wanting to stay in the negative states. Part of me, not all of me, but part of me maybe is wanting to stay in the negative states so that I will figure something out. Like maybe you feel that you're going to figure something out if you're kind of stirring the same emotional waters all the time. And if it's not working for you, and it hasn't worked for you for months, years maybe, why are you staying there? What is it trying to show you? What is it trying to tell you? If you're going through the same emotional difficulties on a regular basis, like what is that trying to show you? I think it's interesting to observe and to explore these things, like why we come here with certain emotional signatures, and why some people seem to, myself included, seem to always kind of go through the same patterns. And so it's about thinking about, like, well, what are the patterns trying to show me? And sometimes it is easier to just kind of run away from it and maybe use substances, or distract yourself with a lot of socializing or hobbies, which can, it can be a positive thing as well. But if we keep kind of falling back down into our negative states, then what is that trying to show us? And is there a part of us that is not fully committed to wanting to feel better? Maybe there's a part of us that is wanting to feel almost wanting to feel negative because we know that it's more comfortable. So myself included, like sometimes it is important to just take that leap and that step and face going through some pain before you get to the other side and feeling happier again. So it's just like, well, I don't know the answers to all these things, but like maybe ask yourself, like, why am I refusing, if I'm in a negative state, why am I refusing to do whatever it takes to feel better? Is there a part of me that actually enjoys the comfort zone, or it maybe even enjoys the negativity? It sounds terrible, but maybe that's true for some people. Maybe there's a part of us that we just think that we're going to find something out. Certainly I know from my own experience, when I ruminate, I think that I'm going to find something out, or I think that I'm going to solve some problem or find the answers to my problems. But like when you're ruminating all the time, it's not actually helpful. It's not helpful, because it's just going through the same things over and over, and someone's like, you don't find a solution for it. So I would challenge people and encourage people to ask themselves, like, well, what is it that is keeping me in these negative states or these comfort zones? Like, what am I not looking at? What am I not facing? Am I afraid of growth pains? Am I afraid to go through the pain to get to the other side? Or is it just that I am in some level emotionally masochistic, that I enjoy the pain or something? And if distractions work for you, that is actually great. It can be great sometimes. So keeping active is better than being inactive, I think, although it is important also to take time to not do as much and to kind of take time to reflect and relax. But just find whatever works for you. But ask yourself, like, what do I really want to change, and what kind of changes do I want to have, and why am I not fully committing to making the changes, or why am I afraid to take that next step? And there's so many questions that can come up, and so many answers that can come up, and I can't go through everything here, but I think I would ask my friend that I was talking about, well, is there a part of you that enjoys being in these states? And I would ask that to myself as well, like, why am I not allowing myself to just step out of the comfort zone? So I don't want to repeat myself too much, so I hope that's helpful, I hope that's interesting. So do subscribe if you want more content from me, and thank you for watching.